Welcome to JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. If this is your first time checking out a video, please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. We're watching a clip of First Things First, talking about basketball, and he now has his King of the Hill mountain. We know he does like the Mahomes mountain and the tier system for the NFL with quarterbacks, and now he's doing, the best NBA basketball player rankings. I'm really curious to see where he has these people and how he manages it. We can see already off the top, this is the bottom of the valley, so it's kind of like off the mountain. And it is, Zion, Wembanyama, and Cat. I don't know how Wembanyama's not on this valley, mountain, hill, whatever the heck he's calling it. So already I'm just like scratching my head, but let's take a listen to see what he has to say, and then we can break it down from there.
Their careers all are right there and could be on the mountain as early as next week, and maybe were on it as recently as a few weeks ago when we had, our dry runs of, not the mountain, but pardon me, of King of the Hill. All right, bottom row, row 7. These guys all are excellent second options, but if any of them are your first option, you have a very clearly defined ceiling. So the only first options on there right now are Trey and Paolo. And Paolo one day I think could be an excellent first option. He's not quite there yet. And by the way, Orlando's going to be in the playoffs. Good job. Trey's a number one option. The Hawks are a little disappointing. But these are all really good players. These are all top 30 players right now in the league. Now to the top 20.
All right, real fast. To put Trey Young on the same level as Brown, Maxey, PG-13, and even Kyrie is absurd and a disgrace. Trey Young is not there. That's ridiculous. First off, Wembanyama should be up there before Trey Young. That's insane. And put some respect on Jaylen Brown. Like, are we serious here? Kyrie Irving, I hate Kyrie personally. I don't like him. So I'm not really going to spend too much time talking about him. But Maxey is ascending. I understand if Maxey's down there because he's still growing and he's really, really young. And PG-13 is also just older now. But already, this is kind of absurd.
20 guys, and this speaks to how deep the league is, that these guys are, that we have got not quite really in the top 15, but these guys, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, two of the best scorers in the league, Jamal Murray, a champion, number 2, Dame trying to be that, De'Aaron Fox, the best player on a team that's going to be, around 50 wins for the second straight year, and then Tyrese Halliburton, who while the Pacers have cooled off a bit, Tyrese Halliburton was putting together a first-team All-NBA caliber season early in the year, now probably maybe more of a second-team All-NBA guy, still an unbelievable year. All right, now we're in real club superstar territory, Drew. You have, back-to-back two-time finals MVPs in KD and Kawhi, Anthony Davis, who's a champion.
So this is hard because these rankings are always tough because is it this season? Is it overall? What are we talking about? Because KD and Kawhi, for that matter, on the same level as AD, Edwards, and Brunson? Hell no. Absolutely, positively not. Edwards is ascending. Brunson is technically ascending. AD is AD. I don't know what you're expecting to get out of AD. Yes, I understand he's having a really great season this season, but we know exactly who AD is. And KD, I guess, again, and Kawhi, especially because of injuries, like, you can make the argument that they're down here because of, age and just, injury proneness. So, but it's just so unsettling to see these names in these groups together to act like they're the same, or that they're similar caliber players or they have similar impacts on their team when they just don't.
Anthony Edwards, who is the best player on a team fighting for a 1 seed. And shout out to Jalen Brunson, who I liked when he was in Dallas. I loved him last year by the end of the year, and now I like him even more. I know obviously he had the scary injury, but he's going to be okay. These guys are all club superstar adjacent. And by the way, shout out to Kawhi for his first healthy season in forever and really being excellent. Okay, so go to row 4. I'm a little conflicted on one of these players, and that player is SGA, because part of me feels like this is too low because he is having an MVP caliber year. Part of me feels like he's alongside LeBron in his 10 finals, Jimmy Butler in his 2 finals, Steph in his 6 finals appearances, and guys that have real pelts on the wall, and guys that we know are dominant postseason performers. Shea's never been above 500 for his career, for a season, and never been in the playoffs. But, like I said, it's fluid list. All right, now the real cream of the crop. First team All-NBA caliber guys this season. Embiid is hurt, but he's going to be back. Luka's averaging 35 a night, and we're almost numb to it. And Tatum was tough. I'll be honest.
I come around on him though.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it could be higher, but I also, I thought about LeBron in that spot. I thought about Jimmy in that spot. I thought about Steph in that spot.
LeBron.
Well, we can discuss it more in a moment.
Sorry.
But yeah, I'm just telling you, I thought about it. As far as if the who I trust over in the postseason, LeBron or Tatum, or Jimmy or Tatum, that's a tough one. And but Tatum, that's where it is. These guys are all first team All-NBA caliber if they were to play the games. And now to the part people are going to get mad at. So listen. I tried to show Joker's respect by making the spot next to him vacant. I know everyone, just reveal the top row as well, please. I know everyone thinks it's insane to not put Jokic at the top.
Yeah.
All I can do is be honest. I think Giannis is the best player in the league. I think Jokic, I don't think there's anyone that deserves to be next to Jokic, because I think he's clearly the next best guy. But I think Giannis, I understand.
So, this is the way I see it. First off, that is absurd. To think that Giannis is on in a league of his own, on a level of his own, and is just better than Jokic is absurd. And Embiid, especially the way how Embiid was playing this season, has been insane. So I would put actually Embiid, Jokic, and Giannis all at the top 3 on those levels, honestly. They all bring amazing aspects to the game. They all win in different ways. And they all have very different teams. Jokic has the luxury of having a great coach and a great team. So people want to act like, Jamal Murray is not an all-star or not a great player because he wasn't. He had these injuries. He had some setbacks. Jamal Murray is that dude. Jamal Murray was putting up 30-plus points a game in the playoffs that they won the finals. So stop acting like Jamal Murray is some scrub here, because he is not. I mean, that is so asinine. He is a dude. Okay, so let's stop acting like he's not amazing. Okay, he is a huge reason why the Nuggets won the championship last season. Okay, so get out of here. And so, and Giannis obviously has had help throughout his career. Whether it be Drew Holiday, Chris, or right now Damian Lillard. I mean, those players matter. And when you compare them to the players that Embiid has not had that support. He had Ben Simmons, who's practically not even in the league anymore, or he has an old aging James Harden, who also has always disappeared come time in the playoffs. Shake Milton. I mean, he has no one. I mean, you can't even name players that anyone even knows, except for if you're a Sixers fan, that Embiid has had. Okay, so Embiid has obviously has had the worst team relative to those two guys, and yet he's still been able to do a lot, and also with questionable coaches in the past. Okay, coaches who are no longer head coaches in the league. So all of those things do matter. I think Luka's great. I love Tatum, but I think Embiid, Jokic, and Giannis are on levels of their own, and I really put them on their own thing. I would maybe put Jokic a little bit higher than Giannis and Embiid. But again, Jokic is a different type of player and is asked to do different things than, say, a Giannis or an Embiid, and has the benefit of having a great team around him. Make no mistake about it. Luka and Tatum, I think, is kind of comparable, but I think Tatum is in a position you can build a better winning culture around Tatum than you can Luka. It is fascinating to see LeBron, Butler, Steph, and SGA so low. It's weird to me to also put Butler in there. I love Butler. I think he's great. But to put him on the same level as Steph and LeBron doesn't make sense. I think Steph and LeBron should be the row up, and then you bring it should be Steph, LeBron, Steph and LeBron at second to lowest, and then you have Embiid, Giannis, and Luka all at the top, and then that's when you have Luka, Tatum, and then that's where I would put SGA and Butler, and probably KD. I'd swing KD up again. KD is a little bit more difficult because he's just older. He's just obviously not who he was 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, and I accept that. But that's what makes sometimes when you have these players that are teetering between, age and injury, it's a little bit harder to rank them. But I'm really curious to see what Brew has to say about this.
And last night he is the Achilles scare.
He was writhing in pain.
He is having an underrated, maybe best season of his career caliber performance this year. We can get into that more later. And so there it is. There is the king of the hill. And I know Joker fans are going to be mad at me, but listen, second place isn't that bad. That's what people in Brew's been telling me forever about the GOAT debate. It's not no problem to be in second place on it. There's first edition king of the hill.
I would love to go off on Jokic, but I know that's Wilds' thing, so I'm going to leave that for you. But Jokic is the best player in the league. I mean, and with all due respect to Giannis, I don't want to act like he's chopped liver, but Jokic is the best player in the league. But I'm going to focus on Jimmy Butler.
I think he should be higher, too?
No, I think he's too high.
Oh, my God.
I'm kind of looking at it as regular season right now because it's going to change every week. I get playoff Jimmy. I get big face coffee. I get the funky little hairdo and piercings for the picture day and all that stuff. But Jimmy Butler's too high. I would take KD out. And I think it's left to right. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
I got my sources on your new committee, too.
Right.
I would take Steph, SGA, KD, Kawhi, AD, and for all his silliness, Anthony Edwards over Jimmy Butler. Right now, I mean, we're talking about right now, regular season.
Yeah, I agree.
I would put them over Jimmy Butler. So I would pick any of those guys, but I'll throw Edwards, switch him places with Butler or KD, whoever you want. You can put Butler where Jalen Brunson is. I covered his dad.
Yeah, we know.
But put him where Jalen is and move Jalen down. And I like Jalen. But I would put Donovan Mitchell where Jalen is. I know I'm getting all. I'm sharing your things. But I gotta say this before I go.
Oh, we have more.
Wemby instead of Trae Young on the bottom low.
That's what I said.
So by the way, the producers begged Brew to just stick to one, but couldn't do it.
Not going to do it.
So
That's exactly what I said. And it's crazy because Nick puts like Caleb Williams, he puts like all these other players on the mountain who aren't even playing yet, for football. And yet Wembanyama he doesn't have up there, which is just insane to me. I mean, I really can't make sense of that at all. But basketball, these ratings are way harder than football. Football, obviously, it's just week to week, and it's only one game. Basketball, you're playing so many games. Yes, it looks like this is also going to be week to week, but there's multiple games in a week. You can have an amazing game and then a bad game. Like, it's just going to be so much harder. Like, I don't really know how they're going to keep doing this. It's going to be a little brutal, to be honest with you. And like I said, I don't know, like, if Embiid now gets knocked off. Embiid was going to be the bona fide MVP. Like, that's just a fact. Like, people, I mean, even people who don't love Embiid were conceding that, that he was the front runner to be the MVP again. And yet here he is, now injured. So I think that he should be elevated for sure. Wembanyama absolutely should be up there. It doesn't make any sense to me that he's not. And yeah, Jimmy Butler's way too high. Again, I love Jimmy Butler. And then also this idea that Giannis is just in the tier of himself and that he's the best player in the NBA. I just do not see that. Again, I think Giannis is an amazing player. I love Giannis. I really do. I think Giannis is great. I was cheering for him to win, a championship. So, I'm all for that. But they're just he's making it look like that Giannis is in a league of his own. And then Jokic is, also just isolated up there as well. And then you have a bunch of these other players. And it's just not true. It's just not. and doesn't make any sense. And you still got to put respect on LeBron James and Steph Curry, considering what they're doing. So, to put them as low as he did there as well is kind of a tough one. I don't know how much I'm going to do this segment. I think this is a very difficult segment to do these types of videos that I've been doing too. So I just wanted to try this one out to see basketball, but it just seems like the conversation is a lot more difficult to have and debate in this situation because quarterbacks, it makes a little bit more sense. And then just even the tier system of teams makes more sense. When you're talking about player, it's basketball to me in this type of situation is so much messier, I mean, it really, really is. And again, there's just a lot of games to be played, and yeah, I don't know. I have to think about it, but let me know what you guys think. If you guys want me to keep doing this, this specific segment that he does, the King of the Hill, I will definitely keep doing it. But right now, it definitely seems like it's a little bit trickier to do. But I'm definitely not opposed to doing it because I do love creating this content. But let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. And also, please don't forget to subscribe. As I said, we are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you a part of it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility, with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.